What's up, everybody? Welcome back, Experts versus Algorithm, UFC 276. I'm John Batanti. This is Josh Moody. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Interested to hear your thoughts about the upcoming fight card. Also, we want to hear what you guys have to say about a bet. Me and Josh are picking against each other throughout the year. We're about tied. About tied right now. What should we bet? Maybe somebody has to shave their head, get a tattoo, divorce their wife. Let's see what you guys have to say. We want to bet. Throw some comments and the best bet. If you give us our bet, you win a $5 free bet from us. You comment in the channel, give me your PayPal handle, and I'll send you. I'll send you $5. You get a $5 free bet from us. Welcome. Excited. This whole card looks fire. 2 weeks ago, UFC Texas was probably the card of the year at this point. Last week's card wasn't bad, but this week's card, it's full of great matchups. Whether you're watching the early prelims, or the getting the pay-per-view main card, this is a pretty fire card. What do you think, Josh?
Sorry, I got distracted on last week not being like a great card. And I went back and looked at it, and I was like, wasn't this a super dope card? And now I'm trying to remember what the card
was. It was okay. It didn't disappoint. But it was like based off 2 weeks ago. I was like, man, that was 2
weeks ago might have been. Oh, that was Cater versus Emmett. Yeah. That was actually a really good card. There was a lot of really crazy shit on that card. Dude, I'm excited for this card.
Did you go undefeated last week?
No, I did not go undefeated. But I was like 8 for 12 or something like that.
I see. Yeah, we had Kelleher. I thought I had Bautista. Okay. I see. Yeah, results kind of went the other way of some results of what we predicted. As far as value plays last week, I went. Jesus, one that was a push because we had. We talked about it. I didn't see the Durden buys fight going the distance, so I washed that fight because it did have buys. So Demopoulos got there, and Chukwi, Rodolfo Vieira plus 120. Let's see what else. Yeah, that was pretty much. So I had a losing week, but hey, it was the TJ Brown near Dan Bieke fight. I had to not go the distance, and that was I think that I saw most of that fight. I was into that fight because that was like my turning point from the betting week perspective. But it was kind of like, I kind of wasn't impressed with TJ Brown's grappling or his submission attempts or lack thereof. I kept going for like Kimuras from the wrong side, triangle, no adjustment. I don't know if you saw that fight, but it looked like he was just praying, like he was just like, please stop.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I like that match, that round.
It was a great fight. It was a great fight.
A lot. I didn't know anything about Durden Becca. I think I probably talked shit about him based on his 50 fights, and like a lot of them are against nobody.
I mean, that's how he fights every time, though. Yeah, that's like his
stops grappling. I like that. I like that.
He lays on top. He lays on top of you.
But he's not. No, he didn't feel like he was stalling to me, right? Like there's a lay and pray, dude. Like I don't know. I don't want to pick on somebody right now, but like there's plenty of fights throughout history where someone takes the other guy down and doesn't do shit. Francis Ngannou versus Cyril Gane.
Right?
Francis did almost nothing on top. He did a great job of controlling, but he didn't really do much. He didn't try and inflict damage. He didn't try and get any passing positions. He just tried to maintain control of the fight. You win, whatever. Rebecca was doing shit nonstop. Yo. And Baez was doing shit too. Like, that was a dope fight. I was really happy with that fight. I did not spend enough time watching what was going wrong with the submissions. I think I was probably doing something else at the same time, though.
Mm-hmm.
What other... Yeah.
All right. Not a big deal.
Yo. If you guys haven't seen the Shavkat Rakhmonov fight versus Neil Magny, I've never seen another fight like that.
I saw that. I watched that fight. Yeah.
I've never seen another fight that looks like that fight. Right? And if you don't understand what I mean, then you need to go learn some shit about MMA, because MMA doesn't look like that. Right? And I don't mean like, oh, it doesn't go to the ground, it doesn't get finishes, but the positions that they were fighting from on the ground and the way that he was able to maintain position against a proven commodity. I've never seen a fight that looks like that. The method that Shavkat Rakhmonov chooses to fight with is unlike anyone else in the game today. Potentially anyone else in the game ever.
Wow.
Right? It's real different. Real different. How often do you see Neon Belly in MMA?
Never.
Homeboy went to Neon Belly a couple of times.
But it's 2 points in a tournament. July 9th.
Valuable position, but it's really, really easy to escape if you don't have a good Neon Belly. I
don't have a good Neon Belly.
It's not even taught. I was talking to somebody out here who, I think he's a purple belt. And I was like, do you use Neon Belly? And he said, no. I said, well, why don't I use Neon Belly? He's like, oh, well, nobody teaches it. Like, what do you mean nobody teaches it?
I don't know about that. Wow.
Like, and that's at his school, right? That's not nobody anywhere. But like,
right.
Neon Belly is one of the first things I teach my white belts.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not the first thing, but like, if you've been with me for 6 months and we haven't done like multiple days of Neon Belly, then I've been fucking up, because that's a devastating position that you can make people do shit. Otherwise, people are like, oh, it's side control. Let me just hang out. And then all of a sudden there's a knee on their liver. And they're like, oh my God, my ovaries. Right? Neon Belly is a beautiful position and nobody utilizes it. And it should be easy to wrestle out of. But he scooped the leg. Now you can't wrestle out of it. You're stuck on your back. Like a fucking pro wrestling pin. Picked up the leg. It was beautiful. Beautiful. Standing, not getting up kicked. The dude is super duper.
Yeah, I saw the up kicks. Like, some of them might have landed, because Neil Magny's got long ass legs. But yeah, that was it was impressive. It was impressive all around. Yeah, he was. Every fight I've seen of him has been impressive so far. So yeah, whenever he keeps stepping up to fight whoever he fights, geez, I mean, got to jump on that guy early, because the public loves him. His lines are going to keep exploding high, but he looks like the real deal. He's going to challenge.
Yo, Arman Tsarukyan
won the first 2 rounds, by the way. Like on all judges' scorecards, and then blew it. Crazy.
Because his wrestling slows down. It's kind of the same thing that happened with when he fought Makhachev. In the beginning, he's keeping up with Islam, doing super well.
Yeah.
They keeping up really, really well. And then at a certain point, they overtake him. But like, his wrestling is stupid good. So to see Gamrot keeping up with him and then take over, there was 20 takedown attempts from Gamrot. Like, I'm gonna make sure that I'm saying this right, but it was like,
it was a lot.
Gamrot got 6 out of 21 takedowns, and Tsarukyan got 1 of 8, and that one was like in round 1 or something crazy.
Right.
Per round. Yeah. No. Where the fuck is the takedowns? Yep, round 1. Round 1 is the only time he secured a takedown. He tried takedowns in every round except for 4. and only secured that first takedown, and that was off of a caught kick or something like that. That was a dope fight. I went and rewatched that yesterday. I've seen the Shavkat fight like 3 times so far, and I went and rewatched Saryukin as well. I'm gonna like make people study the Shavkat fight. Like it's that's some meta changing. That's a meta changing fight.
Yeah.
Right. He's gonna change the game. Anyways, what do we got going on for this week?
UFC 276, sir. Big one. Adesanya trying to defend that strap again. Holloway versus Volkanovski for the third time. I've been reading a lot about like even Max Holloway saying in my mind I won the first 2 fights, and he's like really like just a mentally strong guy. Like that's just how he approaches things. But he didn't win that first fight. Like, what are people watching? He lost. It wasn't really close. I mean, just like he didn't win that fight. Second fight, I thought Holloway won. For some reason, I thought he scored 2 knockdowns. Some outlets said 3 knockdowns. The judges gave him 0 knockdowns. I don't know. It's fucking crazy. Regardless, I think he won the first 2 rounds. I thought he won the second fight. I mean, it was really close. But I'm excited to see him do it again for a third time. You don't really get to see – you don't see trilogies much in UFC, let alone – you'll see them at the top of their division, but you don't see them in, like, pound-for-pound rankings. Like, you don't see 2 guys in the top 5, top 10 pound-for-pound get to do it 3 times. It's pretty rare. I don't think we've ever seen it, so this will be the first time.
Randy Couture versus Chuck Liddell.
Oh, going back in the thing. Okay, yeah, maybe.
Junior Dos Santos versus Cain Velasquez.
Junior, were they pound for pound though? Like top 10, you think? Like I don't
know. They were in the top 5 of heavyweight.
Yeah, that's their division, but not overall. Like the whole company.
I guarantee you, DC and Stipe were.
At some point, yeah. I don't know about all 3 fights.
Yeah, maybe not for all 3. Maybe not for all 3.
We're doing it like this is all 3 fights. You're seeing.
Do you think Volkanovski was top 10 pound for pound in the first fight?
Yeah, I do.
Maybe he had the skills. I don't know if he had the numbers, but honestly, I slept on him for too long.
He just sees. Yeah, I mean the guy just crushes. He just keeps winning. He hasn't lost in a long time. I think he's on a 21 fight winning streak. But I mean, Holloway's a different animal than everybody. I thought Holloway fought really good in the second fight and did enough to win. But I guess we'll talk about it. Let's kick it off. So first fight tonight, Jessica Rose Clark, Julia Stoliarenko. I overthought this fight a lot recently, and I just still I don't.
What do you mean you overthought this fight?
Because I mean, Stoliarenko is tough. If you've seen her fight, she's tough. She also hasn't managed to get a win under UFC, but she's been tough in every fight, and she's faced something. She's just been tough to put away or tough to. She's not a bad striker. She just can't avoid. She's got a horrible striking defense. It's like 42%. And she also just can't stop that from turning into takedowns. What is she really good at? Submitting off her back. She has like 8 or 9 armbar finishes. And she does attempt them. But she gets stuffed almost all the time. She got outstruck last fight by Alexis Davis, who has pretty good volume. Alexis Davis is a pretty well-rounded fighter who was recently released. But I'm not actually going to say that doesn't age well because Alexis Davis is pretty tough.
She's an Olympian.
Is she?
Yeah, she's an Olympic silver medalist.
Yeah, she's tough. I don't know, Jessica Rose Clark. She's not a good striker. I think Stoliarenko has the edge there, but her game is take you down. Jessica Rose Clark wants to take you down. Jessica Rose Clark also got submitted last time, and she got So I don't know. She got submitted with it was a really nice judo throw into an armbar. But I don't know. The line's completely flipped on this. I'll we'll go with Clark just because she's had one UFC fights, but I don't know. Not overthink. I don't want to overthink it.
I was looking at Stoliarenko for a while, thinking that she was going to be the one to win this fight. But mostly because she's got over 20 fights. Like, even though her record says 9-6, when you actually look at if you go and look at her Tapology, she had a left wave fight a couple years ago. She's got exhibition fights from when she was on the Ultimate Fighter. Made it to the UFC after the Ultimate Fighter, and then lost to Leah Letson. Let's go, Leonidas. She's got fucking custom rules fights in here too. Like, what? I still don't understand what's a custom rules fight. Like, what kind of shit are you doing?
One championship has those. Yeah, it's like a mix. Like they'll mix disciplines, and then they'll change up the rules for you for a fight. Like, yeah.
Oh, you think she did one of those like Mighty Mouse versus Rod Tang fights?
Something like that, yeah. Like where they try to make it like more level, like so it's exciting. Like
that could be. That could be. She's got kickboxing fights. Like, this girl has just been fucking fighting forever.
Yeah.
So she's got more wins on here than it actually says, and like, shit, only one of those other fights is a loss. So, like, this girl does know how to win fights. She's a fucking winner. But she hasn't been able to do shit in the UFC.
No.
And Jessica Rose Clark's been in the UFC for a minute, and beaten a lot of girls.
Yeah, she's fought a lot of good girls, beating a lot of girls. Pretty sure she'll be able to get takedowns at some point in this fight. And get some. Well, we'll see. Definitely not betting that fight, but let's see. All right, Jess versus Macy Barber. Yeah, I'm not overthinking this. I wanted to jump on Macy Barber like minus 170 when the line came out. I mean, if Macy Barber can't beat Jess at this point, then by some way, then it's the hype. Then she's not probably never going to fight for a title or rise into the top 5. But Macy Barber, you have Macy Barber. I guess Jess is a gatekeeper. Jess is tough to finish. Underrated like BJJ. She doesn't really use it at all. But Macy Barber should be able to land the big shots, take her down and Macy Barber does have really good top control. All right, you like Barber too. I don't think there's much.
Don't you be giving away my picks. I'm gonna stop writing that shit down.
I was just trying to move past that fight because I'm excited to talk about this Uriah Hall fight. I don't think anybody really wants to hear about that.
Yeah, no. I got Barber too, despite the fact that she's already got plans for the future. The future Barber.
The future. Anyway, all right. Here's an interesting fight, I think. Uriah Hall and Andre Muniz. Andre Muniz is like a public favorite. He opened up minus 190. Now he's at minus 320. Nobody's giving Uriah Hall much of a shot. Andre Muniz has looked really good. If you saw his last 2 fights, he's the guy that broke what's his name's arm? Jacare. Broke Jacare's arm with a sick little thing, submission. Standing back take into a submission. Then he did the same thing to Eric, ya boy Anders. His next time out. So he's done like pretty much the same move twice. He's got it. But I dug into this a little bit. So Uriah Hall has fought grapplers, I think 3 or 4 times in the UFC. He's done really well against them too. He has also never been submitted as a professional. With that being said, Muniz has 4 knockout losses in his career. I've also did some digging, and his cardio after the first round doesn't look the same to me. I do think Muniz has underrated wrestling. I think his wrestling is much better than people. He's not just a submission guy. He doesn't just try to get you down. Look, I think his wrestling is pretty good, and it seems like his thought process of where to go is really good and ahead of everyone. But that being said, I don't know. Uriah Hall is definitely a veteran. He's has a habit of underperforming Doesn't win. He just doesn't. Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not there, but he does do well against grapplers. I don't see him doing well. I don't see him doing well in the first round in this fight, but I can see him taking over this fight if somehow it drags on and Mooney doesn't get an early submissions on him. What do you think?
Andre Muniz has been fighting for fucking ever.
Mooney?
Since 2009. Why did it take him so long to get here? Anyways, yeah, I'm super impressed by Muniz. Like, going into the fight with Jacare, he said he was a better grappler than Jacare. And then he fucking broke Jacare's arm. Like, that's straight up ridiculous. Straight up ridiculous. That's the second time Jacare's let somebody break his arm and said it's happened. Man, Uriah Hall just doesn't do enough.
No, he doesn't. One interesting. Mooney's last loss was actually at light heavyweight, and that was like 6 years ago. So he's been on a really good streak.
Oh yeah,
and yeah, he's pretty much finishing everyone. Finish. Yeah, there's not too many. The decision with Antonio Arroyo, I guess that fight didn't sit well with in my head about but then he's really looked good. He's looked great the last 3 times out. But yeah, Uriah Hall in general, he underwhelms, underperforms. But I just feel like this is that spot where this is the spot he does well because everyone just thinks he's not going to do anything. When he has any kind of it seems like when he has any kind of hype behind him or favorite status behind him, he just doesn't live up to it. But if he's an underdog of sorts, he usually shows out. I don't know. I think he can. I think he can. I think he can do well here if he gets past the first round. So definitely going to be value on him. The line's out of whack. I'll take Mooney. I'm not going to go against it, but I do think if you're betting, I think it's a good spot. This is a decent spot for a Uriah Hall bet. Small bet. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, Mooney doesn't really go to decision.
You want to see?
Went to decision on Dana White's Contender Series.
Oh, good God! Oh my God!
Which made him go back to the Contender Series.
John, who wins?
On the regional circuit, I mean, he went to decision with Paulo Filo back in 2014.
You buying that?
Basically.
Oh my God, he's so strong.
All those others. What's crack-a-lackin', Little John?
Say hi, John. Who wins? Uriah Hall? No? Does he put it together? Does Uriah Hall put it together?
Maybe. He don't even need to put it together. He just got to put something out there. Doesn't even need to all come together. That dude's so hyper talented, and he's been around forever.
Yeah.
It's got to be a mental thing. But I mean, he's looked a lot better since he's been at wherever the fuck in Texas.
Yeah, that's true. He did. I liked all of his performances except the last one. Against the Strickland, I thought he didn't do much, and then at some point he just checked out. The third round, he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm done with this fight." He just checks out mentally. I don't know, he does, but I feel like this is a spot where he's gonna surprise you and he's gonna ruin all your bets because people are just gonna back him like he's trash, he's this, he's that, and actually he does pretty well against guys like this. And I don't know, this is where he comes back to the hype, and then the next 3 fights he's gonna look awful. But
yeah, I mean,
the value there is what I'm saying. People's Uriah Hall, he's going to be a crazy number. So if you're going to bet this fight, I would throw down on Uriah Hall or Mooney by sub first round finish. Where you got a full gas tank. That's a strong one.
It's definitely worth betting on, right? There's a good enough chance that Uriah Hall pulls something out of his ass.
So Josh, how you? your box. Show me your box.
Ooh, kids got skills. Kids got skills.
This
Yo, I
guy
tried
looks.
doing the
Pow,
V
pow.
yesterday.
You go, pow, pow. You want to beat up the keyboard?
Somebody sent me a video of like a 5-year-old doing pads in the Netherlands, and I showed it to Chris, and I was like, "You, this isn't normal. Like, what do you mean? Like, of course, the kid's 5 years old. Like, what do you think they let him compete by like 3 or 4? Like, what the fuck? We can be able to, like, I don't understand. You mean everybody's kids doesn't hit shit? You mean they
5-year-old
don't do it on command with accuracy?
Scandinavian championships.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm looking for my kid to make a clean fist and hit with the right knuckles, and he just wants to do this bullshit little, like, like come on. Veal hit pads too, but she only wants to slap you. Chris says she's a grappler. Yeah, like, it's all open hand. It's hard, and it's accurate, but she doesn't want to close her hand at all. She just wants to, right? And she can't stand well enough to throw kicks. But that's what we're working on with
We're
Bird.
working on kicks.
Bird ran up and head kicked V the other day.
Oh shit!
She's crawling, and he's doing mitts with me, and he runs over to his sister and fucking soccer kicks her.
Oh my god! What a savage!
Oh my god! He got in so much trouble. Much trouble.
I'm sure the fallout was
yeah.
Jesus.
So you're right. Uriah Hall has done very well against the grapplers that he has fought. His takedown defense is actually pretty decent at 65%. That's not like world changing, but it is pretty good. He gets hit more than he lands, but he tends to land like devastating, kill you type shots.
Right.
So that I'm not actually that worried about that with him. And he's on a hot streak right now. I mean, I guess he lost to Strickland. But yeah, I'm picking Moody, but I also only have pride on this up until somebody decides what else is on the docket for our bet.
Yeah. No, yeah. Any comments, but yeah, we'll see. I think this fight can surprise. All right, Brad Tavares and the guy I'm excited to watch, Dricus du Plessis.
Dricus du Plessis, when he got to the UFC, said he's going to be the first real African champion. Which is so funny to hear from a white dude.
Yeah, it is.
Well, like, he says, we've got, and somebody said something like, what about Adesanya? And he's like, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, born, raised, and trained. I'm going to be the only African. Like, okay, buddy. All right.
Okay.
All right, Blondie.
You want to go see Mama? Okay.
That being said, that dude is a fucking hammer. He fights really weird. He fights weird, backing up the whole time, but then he knocks people. Like, it's not even like he's like it's not like he's like fighting off the back foot from like a boxing perspective. He just has this weird backup thing.
Yeah.
Wow, and you're like, what in the fuck just happened?
That's it. You're staring at the ceiling and you don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, man, fight's awkward as shit.
He's actually he does a lot of like self training. The dude, and he's won every fight by finish. Very unique. But yeah, he lands bombs. It doesn't take much. I mean, he lands fucking bombs. Definitely kickbox style heavy. But he's got mad submissions on his resume too. But his wrestling isn't that great. And I think he knows that. And Brad Tavares' takedown defense is pretty elite. It's pretty ridiculously good, actually. So this is going to be a fight on the feet, in my opinion, all day. Can Brad Tavares win some minutes? Yeah, but Brad Tavares' striking is just like ham and eggs to me. It's not really that. There's nothing special about it. I think du Plessis is going to catch him with the bigger shots. I think he's going to finish Brad Tavares, actually. So I got him. I think Duplessis. I'm on this hype train until it gets derailed. I think he wins this fight. I think he finds a knockout actually at some point.
I mean, like, well, no. Let's just go with that. No. Tavares is too hard to deal with overall. Like, nobody really looks good against Tavares.
He's a tough customer, yeah.
Man, he's been around forever. He's been in the UFC for like 10 years or some shit. He was on the Ultimate Fighter 12 years ago. 12 years ago, he was on the Ultimate Fighter. He's only 34. He was on the Ultimate Fighter at 22 fucking years old. Like, no. Brad Tavares has been around forever. Izzy didn't finish him. No. Shabazian finished him, but Shabazian's a fucking freak. Whitaker finished him, but that dude's a champion, and Tim Bosch hits like an absolute freight train. But Yoel Romero couldn't finish him. Right? Like, dude, no. And Duplessis does not fight in a way that's going to win him rounds. Right? Like, and this sentence is not meant to seem insulting at all, but he fights like he's fucking losing. Right? Like, the way he moves when things are happening is like, oh my God, this is not good. I'm not ready for this. And then it works for him. He's 16-2. Like, this is purely like an observation of the methods he chooses to employ. So now maybe he's trying to bait people in, and maybe that's why he gets so many finishes. But like, that's not going to win you rounds. It's not going to win you rounds, and I don't think he's going to finish Brad Tavares.
Okay, he might not. It's definitely plus money to finish Brad Tavares. I think because this fight's going to be so striking based, I like Duplessis to land the power shot. I think Duplessis. I think he's going to catch him. I think he's going to land a big shot, and he's going to hurt him. Similar to what Shabazian did, something like that with the kicks or a punch or a spin. It's going to be something devastating. But I don't feel. Yeah, I feel that's how it goes. But
his takedown in the UFC is 50%. Well, I guess that's just against Trevin Giles, who I think Trevin went down to 170 right after that. No, that was his. Whatever, not important. Yeah, it's probably going to be on the feet. I don't think Duplessis is going to try and take down Brad Tavares. Tavares has pretty good takedown defense as well. Nobody's even tried to take down Duplessis. Marcus Perez and Trevin Giles didn't try and take him down a single time. So I don't know anything about his ground game at this level. Tavares has pretty good takedown defense. I think he trains at Extreme Couture as well, so he comes from a wrestling-based camp. Mm-hmm. But man, I don't know. If there's a bet out there for like, does it go to decision? I would bet it goes to decision.
Yeah, you can bet that for sure. Yeah.
I think that's a smart move. Betting on it going to decision, you're gonna get paid. And now, if it goes to decision, I heavily favor Brad Tavares in that.
So you can bet that too. That'll get you a good comeback. Tavares by decision, yeah.
Yeah, but if it's a finish, it's not going to be Tavares finishing Duplessis, right?
Right.
Let's see. Does Tavares finish Yatko? And that is his only UFC. Yatko and Phil Baroni, who was like 65 years old when they fought. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Sorry, I haven't seen this photo of Phil Baroni. Yeah, Tavares by decision or Duplessis by submission.
Mm-hmm.
But probably Tavares by decision.
I like it. No, you bet on both. If any of them win, you got plus money, so you'll make money. I like it. Nice breakdown. Ian Gary, Gabe Green. I'm going to go with Gary here, just with he's still learning on the job, but I think his length will give Gabe Green some issues here. Ian Gary hasn't looked that great. He didn't look good his last fight. Like, he's a lot of hype behind him. but it was a different kind of fight for him. I think he's definitely talented. I like his wrestling. I like his grappling ability. Gabe Green's last fight is good. Last fight it worked. I think some things worked out for him, but in general, he's very hittable. Very hittable. Yeah, he ended up winning. That's right. He finished Johan when he's.
I can't watch any of his fights. I tried. Not like I'm unable. Like I logistically, I can't watch the fights because Fight Pass is such a piece of shit.
Jesus.
It's such a trash service. Like it's. Ugh. I can't believe they don't put anything into making it good. It's and it's even worse since the ESPN deal. Anyways,
yeah,
it's fucking garbage.
I got Gary. I think Gary wins. Not betting it, but I think Gary gets the win.
He definitely gets the win, and I think you should bet it. I don't know what the line is. And
he's about minus 180 now, Gary.
Yeah, that's worth betting. I don't think it's a close fight.
Wow.
I don't think. Did you see? Did I don't remember. I know it was a relatively close fight, but did Ian Gary get tired against Darian Weeks?
No, I don't think he got tired. He didn't look that tired, but he definitely he didn't impress. You know, if he was supposed to finish Darian Weeks.
Darian Weeks is a super good fight.
Tougher than the books thought, and that actually ended up being a different fight. Right, Ian Gary's first fight, he got the big knockout. Yeah, the first fight. I think I believe he's still kind of learning on the job. So he kind of did all right. He didn't force too many things, and whatever he thought, Weeks was kind of tough, so he didn't force anything and get himself in a bad situation. So I think this fight's gonna be different. He's gonna have a reach edge. I think he's gonna have the overall striking edge. I think he's gonna be a little better everywhere here, and plus his opponent's very hittable. So I think
he basically doesn't have a reach advantage. Their reach is 73 and 74 inches. He does have a 5-inch height advantage, but their reach is identical.
Okay.
Gabe Green has some fucking monkey arms if you look at him.
Right. All right. I still go. I like the power. I mean, I still like the power and whatever. An inch, not that big of a deal. But I think his precision, his power, all that factors in. I like Gary to win.
Yeah, Gary should win this. I mean, Gabe Green's 2 of his 3 losses are by first round finish, and he lost to this is gonna sound bad, but he lost to Jalen Turner by first round finish, and Jalen Turner's a badass fighter, but
he kills people. He's great.
He's a 55er, not a 70er.
Mm.
Right, so you got flatlined in 30 seconds against a dude a weight class down.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I'm not super confident in his chin if he really gets pieced up. And it seems
he gets hurt a lot. He gets hurt. I'm pretty sure that's just his job. He got hurt the last fight. Yeah, he's pretty he doesn't get finished a lot, but he does get hurt a lot.
Yeah. So, all
right. We got Cowboy. Cowboy got this fight rebooked. Jim Miller stepped in, who also lost an opponent, and said, "I'll fight Cowboy."
Who's Miller supposed to fight?
They're fighting.
I'll figure that out. But
he was.
What happened to
but his opponent got lost too. He was training for a fight.
Bobby Green.
Bobby Green. So Miller's doing Cerrone a favor, and he's going to fight at 170. Miller was getting ready for a lightweight fight, which is his natural class against Bobby Green. Cerrone cut weight, 3 times already, get to fight Joey Lawson, and that fight got canceled. And now, so he still was in somewhat shape. He's but he's not. He's not gonna have to cut as much, but still, this is gonna be his 3rd or 4th, weight cut, getting ready for a fight. And this isn't.
He only cuts 5 pounds to make 170.
Right.
Cerrone,
I think he'd be okay, man. But yeah, he's just been, and it's far from the Cowboy that we know. I don't know. This isn't changing me. I actually think this is a much worse matchup for Cowboy. He's actually an underdog. Yeah, I thought he at least would have a shot at like fighting Walls against Jim Miller. I don't know if this fight. I was uber confident that Cerrone and Lawson was not going to go the distance. I had a huge bet on it, and it ended up being void because they didn't fight. But this fight, I don't know. This fight, I can see turning into a because they fought before, they know each other, and there's respect. I can see this fight starting out slow and somehow carrying the distance, but in no way do I see Cowboy winning this fight. I don't care. I don't care if it's at 170, one thing. No, Miller's still putting guys away. Miller wants to fight until UFC 300. He's just a good veteran. He's just I don't see. I think Miller gets him out. I think Miller finds a finish in the second round. But
do you know? Hold on. You don't understand. If you think that Miller's still putting people away and Cowboy wouldn't be, you don't understand the level of competition they've been up against.
I do.
No, Cowboy's still fighting dudes in the top 10 or in the top 25, even if he shouldn't be.
Stop it.
Look at it. Look at Cowboy's losses. Alex Morono. Alex Morono is ranked number 12 or something like that right now. Anthony Pettis is a former world champion, right? And I bet you he was ranked 22nd or some shit when that fight happened.
Cowboy did pretty good in that fight too.
Just outside the top 15 forever. Losing to Conor McGregor, no big deal. Justin Gaethje, Tony Ferguson, neither of these are bad losses. That's
also Conor's last win, and
that's right. Don't get me wrong.
And it was very unimpressive. I don't know. Why is my computer screen just went black?
This is nothing against this fighter. Do you know who Nicholas Mota is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Legit. He's local. Legit CFFC champ. Yeah.
Yeah. He trains in Jersey. Well, he was training in Jersey. Now he's been in Colorado for a while. Maybe he's back now. But I've sparred that dude. He's fucking good. But that's not the same thing. That was his UFC debut. I literally don't know who Eric Gonzalez is. The Ghost Pepper. That's a dope name. The Ghost Pepper.
Miller was supposed to crush him, and he did. Yeah. So
that was his first UFC fight.
Yeah.
Joe Selecki. He lost to Joe Selecki. We both liked Joe Selecki for his last fight.
Yes.
Alex Silva. He won that one, right? Vince Pichel. Vince Pichel's been around forever, but he's not in the top 15. Roosevelt Roberts. Let's see. At the time Roosevelt Roberts.
At the time he fought it, Roosevelt was like the huge up and coming stud, and Miller got him out of there. Miller submitted him and
that's a good one.
It was and it wasn't. It was just Roosevelt Roberts isn't
just
really
on paper. Just on paper. Yeah. Right. That guy had been in the UFC for a minute and been doing well. Scott Holtzman beat him, but he had been around for a minute. And then before that, Clay Guida, Jason Gonzalez. Tell me where the stud is in here, right? And I don't mean
probably not.
You're a stud, but where's the guy in there that's holy fuck? That's all Cowboy fights now. Mm-hmm. Outside of Nico Price, who give him who's that close to holy fuck? No. Put some respect on Cowboy's name, homie. You don't know what you're talking about if you think he's just gonna get pieced up.
No, I just don't think he's just not winning the fight. I don't see him. I don't see him winning the fight. He's looked terrible. I mean, he just doesn't getting knocked out by Alex Morono is that's just not a. I don't know. I think Alex Morono has 2 finishes in his life, and one of them was Cowboy. And Cowboy was bad in that fight. He looks like it. I think he knows that people are talking about him though, and this is going to be his last fight. He's going to look. I think he'll. I don't. That's like I said. I don't. I think there's a way this fight can get extended. I don't know. Jim Miller's not the. Even though he's got some finishes, he's definitely not a knockout artist. But far from it. But yeah, I think I like Miller. I think Miller does get the win, but I do think this fight. I like over 1.5 rounds. I don't think this fight gets finished as early like I thought the Joe Lauzon fight. Either way, whether it was Cowboy or Lauzon, but I think this fight can get extended. All right, let's
It's
go.
definitely going to decision. It's definitely going to decision.
What do we got next? Well, that's good.
And I got Cowboy because I never said that shit, but I got Cowboy, and it's going to decision for sure.
But that's a good payout. We're gonna bet that. We're gonna put a parlay together because you have some good parlay pieces here that would pay really good.
I don't really understand
the bar by decision, Gary by knockout, and just that fight like Cerrone by decision or something. That would pay really good. I like that. We're gonna bet that. All right, what's the next fight? My computer's dying.
Oh no! Our next fight is Brad Riddell versus Jalen Turner. Brad Riddell fights weird.
Yeah, I like Brad Riddell's style though. Brad Riddell's a tough ass cookie. Jalen Turner is a freak. It's really hard for me to overlook Jalen Turner's just overall talent. And I don't know if he's turned the corner and put it all together. He certainly looked like it last time. And we cashed in on that. I think, we had that. That was a big play last time he fought to win by finish. He's got like a 7-inch reach advantage here. I think Riddell has better combos. I think he could put together like 4 or 5 strike combos going like up top, down low, better than Jalen Turner can. But Brad Riddell's very hittable. And he gets hurt. Drew Dober hurt him early, Jalen Turner, no disrespect to Drew Dober, but Jalen Turner hits a lot harder. He just F's you up. He's going to be able to connect with shots. I don't know. I just think I'm going to go with the more talented guy that hits harder here. That is going to, if I know he's going to hit his opponent, he might not be the minute winner, especially early, but I think he's going to hurt Brad Riddell at some point. I got Turner.
There's an 8-inch height difference between Brad Riddell and Jalen Turner.
Which would be actually good if Brad Riddell was a wrestler. Like, I think a wrestler, you want to be the smaller guy. Like, you want to be closer to the hips. But, yeah, I don't know. Brad Riddell's a striker. So,
yeah.
I do have a bet on Jalen Turner. That's one of the few bets. I don't have any bets on this card yet, but I have Jalen Turner.
Let's see. I don't even know if Brad Riddell goes for it. Oh, Brad Riddell's good for almost 2 takedowns a fight.
2 takedowns?
He took down Fazeev. He took down Drew Dober 5 times. And Drew Dober does well against people who try. No, I'm mixing Drew Dober with. That doesn't matter. He got taken down 8 times. Yo, he won a fight where he got taken down 8 times. Good for him. Good for fucking him. Yeah. I think that Jalen Turner is likely going to piece up Brad Riddell. When you have an inch height advantage and on the opponent, his head is basically below your shoulder level or at your shoulder level, right? So even though there's really only like a 3-inch difference in their reach, Brad Riddell has to punch up. Like, Brad Riddell has to punch the fucking hoop. And right? It's like setting up 2 hoops. It's like playing horse. It's like playing horse. And Jalen Turner at 6'3" gets to play on the child's hoop. And Brad Riddell has to play on the pros hoop.
Yeah.
You gotta get up in there and fucking dunk. And Jalen Turner could just stroll on over look at me, I'm dunking on all these bitches. Ah! Right? And that's gonna be a problem.
I hate that guy. Yeah.
That's gonna be a real problem. Yeah, my son hates it too when I dunk on his ass. I can't dunk. I got no ball handling skills. 0. My toddler would definitely outball me.
Right?
And he doesn't even know the rules of the game. Yeah, Jalen Turner should win this pretty easily.
All right, we got Jalen Turner. Next fight.
Our next fight is Pedro Munoz versus Sugar
Sean.
Oh,
shit. How about this? Did we come to it, right? Yeah, that was the why are you not loading? There you go. All right, so this is definitely O'Malley's toughest opponent. I don't think there's any question about that, right, going in?
I would favor Marlon Vera in a fight over Pedro Munoz. But
Marlon Vera has been kicking ass. Yeah, I mean, well, Marvin at the time he's going to fight. Marlon Vera. I don't know if that was that stuff. Like Pedro Munoz he's been around. He's been in the top 15 for years.
That's true.
He fought a lot of good guys. He hurt Dom Cruz the last fight. He hurt Dom Cruz bad the first round. He dropped Dom Cruz. Dom Cruz is a really hard guy to finish. Dom Cruz was able to survive that and then dance around him the second and third rounds and win the fight comfortably. He couldn't catch up to Dom Cruz. He's also going to be at a big reach disadvantage to Sean O'Malley. O'Malley's going to have the speed advantage. Munoz has never been finished, so I'm not going to say O'Malley's going to have a power advantage because O'Malley also lit up. What was the guy's name? The guy he set the record.
Ali and Paiva?
No, he lit up the fight before that when he had landed a zillion strikes, and Herb Dean finally stopped it with like 10 seconds left in the fight.
Oh yeah, against the kid who got the fight on like 6 hours notice. Chris.
Yeah, he got a performance bonus for taking the most strikes in UFC history up till that point. Like in a fight, Chris Moutinho, yeah. And then he got knocked out his next fight because like I don't know, if you take that many strikes, you're just not gonna. Your longevity, your shelf life's pretty low. I don't. I keep hearing or reading trying to read about. I don't know how much is true. Like you see, like people put like threads together or forums or what do they call them? Not a forum, but God, I can't think of the name of this. Like Reddit threads. Reddit threads are
posts.
No, the term for it. There's a term for it. Join the Discords. Like Discords, like they just say like Sean O'Malley. They're saying like Sean O'Malley's like just brittle, like he's made of glass. I don't know.
It's the only fighter I've ever heard accused of having glass ankles.
Really? You've heard this?
Yeah. Well, he's had 2 ankle injuries that have caused him like serious problems. Like he would have lost to Andre Sukumta if Andre Sukumta hadn't taken him down. He couldn't walk. If Andre Sukumta had stood up and walked the other side of the cage, he would have gotten a loss in that fight.
Really? Was that the fight I read there? So, people said like 1 or 2 of his fights, O'Malley, like his legs were pretty much fucked. Like he was getting calf kicked or whatever, and he couldn't really. Like
that was that was the one against fucking who did I just Cheeto Vera calf kicked him.
No, I remember that fight. No, it was another fight. It was another fight. They said like this guy did a lot of damage to O'Malley's leg, and he fought off his opposite foot.
Sukumta. Yeah, Andre Sukumta in O'Malley's second UFC fight. In the 3rd round, O'Malley was hopping.
So that has to be
hopping. Literally, like not putting the foot down, was hopping into the clinch. And instead of Sukumta standing or backing off and making him walk so that the judge could see, the referee could like look at it and be like, oh shit, he can't do anything. He went and took him down where he didn't need to use the ankle, right? So he lost 2 rounds, would have won the fight by stoppage if he literally just had not taken it down. It was a giant brain fart on his part. But yeah, in 2 occasions, Sean O'Malley, who requires a shit ton of quality footwork for his style to work,
yes,
has not had functional feet. Right, so I haven't seen anything to indicate that he doesn't have a good chin, but like
no, we haven't seen that yet. And I know his grappling in general is very underrated. He doesn't use it. It's not his style, but it's good. It's definitely not bad.
He looked really good against Takanori Gomi. He looked pretty decent again. I mean, he lost pretty quickly, but he looked fairly decent against Hector Lombard. I didn't watch his draw against Gilbert Melendez, right? But like those are 3 grappling matches that he did when he during the lockdown or when he was injured, or I forget why he did them. But yeah, Like I've seen him just in straight grappling, and he knows what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, it's not a style. He's just I mean, he's got six out of 7 performance bonuses in a row. I mean, the guy just puts on a show. I I just don't. I see all that, and like I tried to weigh. Like, is Pedro Munoz going to be grapple? Is Pedro Munoz grapple heavy? Like, no. Can he get you down and try to control you? No. I don't know. I don't know if he's the guy that's gonna beat O'Malley. I mean, he could come out there with. He's also lost 4 of his last 5 fights. Granting that, I mean, he pretty much hit Dom Cruz with a perfect kill shot and knocked him down, and he still didn't finish him. So I don't know. Is he really going to catch O'Malley with like a shot like that and drop him? Maybe if he does, is it going to hurt him? I mean, but he's lost to Aljamain Sterling. He went the distance. That's tough. I mean, he KO'd Cody Garbrandt, but that's not a feat. Everyone's knocking out Cody Garbrandt after the thing. He's beat Jimmy Rivera. That's his last fight. Yeah, I don't know. But he's fought good guys. Aldo put it on him.
He beat Airway, beat Brett John, beat Rob Floyd. Like, really good win.
The questionable loss to Frankie. I remember that was a split decision.
Matt
I think this could play out closer than people think, just because of Munoz's toughness and his fight IQ really high. I don't think O'Malley runs through him. I think O'Malley's going to have some moments where he's going to have some adversity, and you're going to see something, because O'Malley's he's a very raw talent. He's a really raw talent. He's never in a rush for anything. Now he's stepping up and fighting guys in the top 15. So there's a lot of questions there. I don't know. I got O'Malley. I think he passes the test. I'm not betting it, nor do I recommend anyone betting it. But yeah, it looks like you got O'Malley too.
So here's a hot take. I think this fight's going to decision.
No, I think so too.
This is like both of these dudes are finishers though. Like both of these guys are not the kinds that go to decision. Let's see. Like, does O'Malley have any decisions? O'Malley he went to decision with Andre Sukumta and Terrion Ware, and then one other dude on the regional circuit, and then it doesn't list like what he did in his fights in 2013 or whatever. Dude fought in 2013. And Pedro Munoz, other than like these last couple of fights, basically finishes everybody. He hasn't finished anybody since 2019, right? But before that, it was finish, decision, finish, decision, finish, decision, finish, decision, finish. Like lots of finishes, lots of guillotines. But in order to get a good guillotine, you kind of need somebody to shoot on you, and there's no reason that O'Malley should shoot on him.
No.
Or you'd have to pick it up in a scramble where somebody's trying to come on top of you, and like, I don't see that happening. Other than that, he's got to drop bombs, and I don't expect him to connect with these bombs, right? So this, I would bet on.
Even if he does, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's going to be. Is it really going to win him the fight?
What, you think O'Malley's going to collect enough style points?
No, I mean, can Munoz really end this fight? I don't know.
I mean, oh shit. Yeah, O'Malley doesn't get hit. No, O'Malley's gotta win this fight. O'Malley lands 8 strikes per minute, 8.26 strikes per minute, and absorbs 3.5.
Yeah, and he's definitely gonna be able to. He's gonna be the minute winner. I don't see, like, with his speed and striking.
Yeah, I don't think he's unlikely to finish. Shit, man, I gotta start sleeping before these podcasts. I feel like an asshole yawning in front of everybody. I don't expect him to be able to finish Pedro Munoz, but if he does, take note. Take real serious note.
Yeah, for sure. I like that.
Robbie Lawler versus Brian Barberena.
I think this is the first fight on the pay-per-view card.
No, O'Malley versus Munoz is.
It's going to be a fun fight, though, for fans. This is a fun fight for fans. They're going to scrap. You're going to see a lot of things in here. Barberina he looked good to me in the last fight against
Matt Brown. You don't think he
Legend.
looked
Yeah,
good against Matt Brown?
he looked terrible to me. It looked like Matt Brown was
Matt
taking him down.
Brown's fight.
Matt Brown doesn't get takedowns. That was a great fight. It ended up being a really good fight. He won, but I don't know. He just didn't look good. His other fights too. He just hasn't looked like hasn't looked good to me. Looked very very beatable. I don't know. He's going to be the taller guy here. He might want to wrestle. Wrestle. I don't know how he wants to try to win this fight. I'm not fucking guy ain't beating Robbie. I'm picking Robbie Lawler. I ain't fucking doing this for him now. No, not overthinking it. Fuck that. Why is this guy beating Robbie Lawler? Fuck that. Robbie Lawler did 2 years off, and he fucking crushed Ben Askren and cut him open, and Ben Askren's blood saved him because Robbie Lawler slips off of him, and he ends up choking Robbie Lawler out. Stop it. Robbie Lawler's still like, I know he's 40, but he's still in great shape. I don't know. I got Robbie Lawler.
Bryan Barberena walks into the war. He walks into the fire, and that's how he fights. He fights from the center of the flame.
Gonna get knocked out.
He's maybe. I mean, he got knocked out by Vicente Luque, who has like stupid power, and Randy Brown. Oh, both of these were body shots in the third round.
He had nothing left in that third round. I mean, the Matt Brown was a war, but you could see he has no gas tank. I mean, you could see it just a round and a half in, like more or 2 rounds. Yeah, he was done. I don't know. Matt Brown walks people out to the deep end and drowns people. It was a great fight.
Bryan Barberena raced him to the deep end. He said, "You want to go swimming? Let's go. 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 We're going deeper. How deep can we go? Do you have deeper? I have deeper. Let's go deeper."
I agree. I think that's why it's in for a great fight, but I think Lawler's a better fighter still.
And then he called out Robbie Lawler after that win.
And he's here.
He's here. This is your fight of the night.
It might be. Yeah, this is gonna be a good fight.
Your performances of the night are likely going to be Sean O'Malley and either Jalen Turner or Ian Gary. Maybe Dricus. Maybe, but I don't expect him to knock out Tavares. But like those are your finishes of the night. But Robbie Lawler versus Bryan Barberena, that's the fight you tell everybody to shut the fuck up. We got shit to do. Right, like go take a piss break before this fight.
Yeah.
Go get your beer before this fight. Go get your chips before this fight. Don't you dare turn around. Don't blink. Right? Maybe you can blink, but like this fight's gonna be stupid.
I'll allow blinking. Yeah.
I'll allow it, but next time. But yeah, I don't expect Robbie Lawler to be able to keep up. I think that Bryan Barberena was doing a really, really impressive job in the clinch. Robbie Lawler is a god of war, but he got out grappled. He got out clinch worked by Dos Anjos. Did he fight? No. Okay. He got and Neil Magny out put a pace on him. Right, like those are the two fights that I'm looking at and thinking that Bryan Barberena is going to win this fight. Neil Magny put a hellacious pace on Robbie Lawler and beat him through that. I think he out-grappled Robbie Lawler, if I remember correctly. And Dos Anjos beat him up and drained him down in the clinch. Like 100%, that's the thing that Bryan Barberena can do to him. Just based on what I watched Bryan Barberena do to Matt Brown in the clinch. Matt Brown has got like the best clinch in MMA as far as like damage. And he wasn't losing to Matt Brown in the clinch. So if he comes through and he's willing to clinch with Robbie Lawler and he's willing to take those bombs, atomic warheads and he can survive those warheads, he's going to drown Robbie Lawler. And he's going to be a world champion.
All right. Let's see it. Confident. I like it.
It's going to be by decision, though.
Sean Strickland, Alex Pereira. Go ahead. You lead off this one.
Sean Strickland versus Alex Pereira. Yo, I tried to watch. I can't watch kickboxing. It's just not interesting to me for whatever reason. I even tried when I was in the Netherlands to get excited by it. But it's marketed like it's a blood sport. Mm-hmm. It's marketed like they fucking marketed BKFC in the beginning.
Right.
And I don't expect Sean or Alex Pereira to come out and like demolish Sean Strickland, right? Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't demolish him, like, what's he gonna do? What, like, who do people beat Sean Strickland by decision?
Not really. Sean Strickland's won like 10 fights in a row.
He hasn't lost a fight since 2018, and some of those are like really fucking good. I mean, the Jack Hermanson win, it's a good win, even though I don't remember it being a great fight. He kind of just took away. He takes shit away from you.
Yeah.
Like, he's just a smart-ass fighter, and he takes shit away from you. Like, you go up and you're in a knife fight with him, and he walks around. He, like, walks in circles around you like nothing's happening. Every so often, he pokes you, and then you go to pull your knife out of your pocket, and you try and poke him, and you're like, what the fuck happened to the knife in my pocket? Why is it dull? Hold on. You took my knife and then put it back? Or did you – what? What the fuck? But he's not like – I don't know, man. He's not smashing people. It's basically all decisions.
No, that's just his style, right? But that bodes well for him here, I think.
Yeah.
So this, like, Alex Pereira, like, his first UFC fight, he definitely, like, I've heard stories that the man's he's just different. Like, he's just made of oak. Like, he just hits you and you just die. Like, he's just really, like, his legs, his hands, he's just really strong, really solid all around. He just knocks people out. With that being said, his first MMA fight in his life, he got rear naked choked. He also, Andreas Michailidis, definitely beat him in round one. He controlled the grappling, controlled his back. He got caught with a flying knee. He then fought Bruno Silva, and that fight was the biggest line I've ever seen to not go the distance from either fighter, because both guys are like just kill or be killed. And somehow the fight went the distance, and it was a more like, a slugfest. But Pereira, he's definitely fast. He's definitely got fast hands, fast kicks. But that's all he has. He doesn't have anything else. Sean Strickland's proven. Sean Strickland can grapple, and like if he wants to, he's going to use it. Sean Strickland's also tough. So I don't know. I mean, I know he's fighting the guy now who's got the crazy power and thing, but I don't know. Sean Strickland seems way too proven to me, has way too more well-rounded. I think Sean Strickland's great value here. I think he's a bet. It's a pick'em's fight. I don't know. People are just on this guy's hype train I don't know. I got Strickland as well.
They're on his hype train because he was a successful kickboxer.
He beat Adesanya twice. That's why he's so hyped.
Yeah.
Come on. But that's why people want to see it. Like, it's a different sport now. I mean, Sean Strickland, right? Sean Strickland does things that are going to save him in this fight. He doesn't really get in firefights. He doesn't get caught by big shots. No, I think Sean Strickland wins this fight.
Which is crazy because all of his posts on Instagram are him in firefights. Like, apparently he spars. He goes to war in sparring and then just doesn't bring that to the fight.
Right. That's fine.
I mean, I guess go to war in sparring so you don't have to go to war in the fight. You know how to deal with it.
Yeah, no, you know what to do. But yeah. No, yeah, he's definitely Sean Strickland
25-3. Elias Zaleski, that Kamaru Usman, and the Pons. Yo. Yeah. That's super impressive. Like, those are your only 3 losses. Now, like, he's got a lot of – he didn't – fuck. I haven't looked into him nearly as much as I should have. He's been fighting since 2008. 14 years. He posted his first professional fight. He was 17 years old, and he only has 3 losses, and it's taken him that long to get to the top.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he finally puts it all together. Hopefully, he starts like really finishing dudes, or starts making statements, right?
Yeah.
And can get to the top through that. But yeah, I'm going with Sean Strickland.
Yeah, I think he'll get his due if he wins this fight. I mean, he's gonna get. I think he gets. He gets. I think the winner of this fight gets the next title shot probably. All right, Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski, 3 trilogy. Yeah, they're both great. I love Volkanovski watching him fight. Yeah, I thought Max won the second fight. I don't know what he's going to do this fight. No idea. Maybe is he going to keep that same style? Will he try to grapple more? He definitely took Yair Rodriguez down, and he can use some grappling skills. But he didn't really. Yair was able to get back up. Volkanovski's always prepared for that. So I don't know if he's going to do that. He's always prepared for that wrestling, try to take him down. He's prepared for everything, Volkanovski. He's very, very good. I don't know. I thought that was his best shot in the second fight. Like he gave him, I don't know if you can give him a better fight than that. I also think, I mean, I think this fight gets switched up a little different. I don't know if this goes the distance again. It's hard for 2 guys to fight 50 minutes against each other. And now this is trying to go 75 minutes, but I think somebody might get finished here. I don't know though. They're both really tough, but I'm going to pick Volkanovski.
Which one of them would get finished?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know. It's just speculation. It's just a long. I thought of that for a second. Then I was like, "This is a long train to nowhere." I don't know. I don't know. It's just a tough fight. I don't know. I don't see if you're going to bet it, you bet Holloway because you're getting +1. You're getting crazy value on him. Thing, I guess. But I don't know. I like Volkanovski, so I'll go with Volkanovski.
Holloway's only been finished once, and that was to Poirier in his first ever UFC fight. Other than that, he's got 5 decision losses, and like the only one of those dudes that's not a world champion at one point is Dennis Bermudez, and that was like his 3rd UFC fight or something like that. Man, I think Max can do it. Like,
sure.
I don't remember if I thought Max won the first fight or not.
He didn't.
But I remember thinking that Max won the second fight.
Yeah.
But I feel like picking Max this time would make me an idiot. Right? Like I've sold out. I have counted Volkanovski out so many times that like if I do it this time, I'm just a rube.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't think he was gonna. I thought Ortega had a chance to beat him. I didn't really think there was much going on with Chan Sung Jung. I didn't even care about him when he went to the Jose Aldo fight. And then I 100% was shocked when he looked that good against Chad Mendes. And then before that, I didn't know who he was at all. But then I went back and watched those, and he looked good in all of them. So I'm going to go with Max Holloway, but honestly, I don't think you should bet on this fight.
Yeah, it's tough. It's very tough.
I should bet on this fight.
You bet Holloway because you have value. I mean, you're getting +170 on Max Holloway. It's fine.
I'm prepared to be devastated. So sad.
Main event. Adesanya Cannonier. All right, so just in a vacuum, I'm going to ask you a question. Answer it truthfully as fast as possible. Are you excited to watch this fight?
Not really.
No, I don't know anyone is. Like, it's not like, you like watching Adesanya. Like, if you buy the card, you're just going to watch it because you bought the card. But I don't know. Does anybody think Jared Cannonier can really win this fight? Do champions keep defending the belt over and over again in MMA? No. Can Cannonier catch Adesanya and with that shot and just hurt him, knock him out? Sure. and you'll get paid for it if he does. Like, so it's a value play. I don't know. I think both guys are. I don't know. Adesanya is going to have the reach advantage, speed advantage. Cannonier, he's a ball of muscle. He's a plotter, though. What's his plan? Is he going to try to take him down, hurt him?
No. Specifically, he thinks he's going to flash finish him. He thinks he's in for quick work. And he said he might grab, if they get too close, he might grab him and throw him to the ground. But
well, that's his way to win the fight. He's got to hold him down and get some ground and pound on him and try to finish him or hurt him that way. I mean, he's not winning a decision. He's never winning a decision. Nope, never happened. He's just not. I don't know. I got Adesanya. I'm sure you do too.
He beat Kelvin by decision. Why do I not remember him fighting Kelvin? Because I remember him fighting Brunson, and I remember him fighting Whitaker and Anderson. I don't remember the Jack Hermanson fight. But, I have no recollection. Damn, yo. Dude's fought a lot of people. Listen, okay. He's about to fight Adesanya. Derek Brunson's been in the top 15 for, 400 years. Kelvin Gastelum fought for an interim title. Robert Whitaker is a former champion. Jack Hermanson's been in the top 15 for 4 years. Anderson Silva, middleweight GOAT, if it's not Adesanya by this point. David Branch was a champion in multiple divisions and outside the UFC. Dominic Reyes fought for the title twice. Jan Blachowicz was the champion. Glover Teixeira was the champion. This dude's lineup has been all killer, no filler. Fucking savages. I'm super impressed by the fact that he made it here against the lineup that he did. Especially since he's finished a bunch of these dudes. I don't expect him to be able to finish Adesanya, but if he does some, I'm expecting this to be a boring fight. But a boring fight in the way that Yoel Romero and Adesanya was a boring fight. Jared Cannonier is a super dangerous dude. And I think Adesanya is going to keep distance, and he's going to do what he can to nullify Cannonier. I don't expect I don't expect it to be fucking fireworks. I don't think it's going to be who did Adesanya fight last? Vittori, I think. Oh, damn. He didn't even finish. Well, okay. Whitaker and him was a good fight. I don't think it's going to be like him and Whitaker where it's a chess match and it's super close. I think it's going to be fucking when a black belt rolls with a blue belt. Not even black belt rolling like a white belt because you hold back and make sure the white belt's not going to do silly shit. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be more super controlled, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the path to victory for Jared Cannonier. Not even that it can't happen. I just can't see it.
Right. It's always possible, but yeah, it's not like a thing. But yeah, never know. Yeah, that's it. We got that's the whole card.
And
please,
Adesanya.
If you're coming across, if you got an idea about what we should bet, please comment, like, share, subscribe.
Man, we only have 3 differences on this card. But on last week's card, we got a shit ton. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 7 differences on the last one. Thank you everybody for tuning in. If you made it to the end, tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm gonna keep the same grin, no matter how badly I stomped this motherfucker because it was 7-2 last week or 7-3. and I'm back in my leading ways. This John up by 1 point is some bullshit. We ain't having that shit. Stomping the professional gambler, and no matter what he says, I'm stomping the numbers.
Peace.